So the second thing we're going to talk about today, and welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to another video. And the next thing we're going to talk about is which Tesla vehicles actually qualify for the tax credit, specifically the Model 3 and the Model Y. I'm going to make a video that's kind of clarifying which of those vehicles actually qualify and like how you can build them to like what price cap. It seems clear as day, but some people need kind of that hand-holding, that's for sure, to build through the Model 3s and the Model Ys. And I'm going to build them exactly how I would choose them. So if you're just jumping in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and maybe even schedule a call with me, but more on that later. All right, so let's take a look at this. So the tax credit, if you don't know, is valued at $7,500, and you actually don't get it point of sale line for line at the purchase of the vehicle. You get it when you file for your taxes in 2024. And so there's a couple of stipulations with this. The easy way to kind of sum it up is if you're single, you have to make less than 150. If you're married, less than 300,000. And if you're a W2 employee and you make above $70,000, then you're going to basically pay about $7,500 in federal income tax, and you get that right back at the end when you file in 2024, like January or February, something like that. So the question is now, there's a short period of time right now in which the Model 3, the Model 3 and the Model Y qualify for the tax credit. Only those two vehicles, but only in certain trims. So the trims that qualify, so we'll go through the Model 3 first, is the Model 3 Standard Range, full $7,500, and the Model 3 Performance, full $7,500, and the elusive, weird, mysterious Model 3 Long Range, also at $7,500. If you're curious what the price of the Model 3 Long Range is, it starts at $49,990. And if you want to buy a Model 3 Standard Long Range, you have to go to sites like Waiting for Tesla or even Tesla.com. Shout out to Waiting for Tesla. They're a great third-party site that aggregates all the inventory on Tesla.com. Sorry, I left that comment up there. That aggregates all the inventory on Tesla.com, and you can basically see what vehicles are around you that actually exist with a VIN that are going to an actual dealership, or sorry, Tesla store, and then you can try and put your name on it, put a deposit on it, and all that stuff. So you can see right here, here's one for $49,990. I click down to reserve. It's going to take me exactly to the Tesla.com website, and then I put my name and deposit on it. But the key thing here is that whichever Tesla that you build or buy, it has to be less, with options and everything, colors, interior colors, and all that stuff. It has to be less than $55,000. So if you go with the Model 3 Performance, which, shocker to me, like, I'm still confused and don't understand how they even, or why they even brought the Model 3 Performance under $55,000. But it really goes to show that I don't know, they really want these sales. They want to take market share from all the competitors, maybe because they lost market share on the electric market. So they're just like, let's take that right back. So Model 3 Performance at $40,54, you really can only, just do $1,000 paint, and then that's it. So you can see at the bottom left, the cost of it is already up to $55,000. So you cannot go a penny more than that. You have to stay under there, and that's it. You can, though, add full self-driving and enhanced autopilot. I don't necessarily recommend it, but you can if you absolutely really want to. I mean, free enhanced autopilot, right? You get that $7,500 tax rate, and then bam, you get the $6,000 you can pay for it. But I don't recommend that. I don't recommend either of these. I'd rather you pay for the subscription, and then if you really still want it, then go ahead and purchase it. But so that's really it. The long range, you can't build it, but if you find one on waitingfortesla.com that's a MSRP of under $5,500, then you're good to go and you qualify for the $7,500. So if I were to buy a Model 3 today, I would even go for the Performance or the long range. At this point, I would just go for a Model 3 rear-wheel drive. I think it's not worth the $6,000 more for that extra amount of range. It's a perfect daily driver. I would get it in black, I think, because I've never had a black Tesla yet. I've always wanted one. I would get the 18-inch rims because it's rotatable. It's not staggered. It's square setup, and it's the most comfiest. I would try and get the white interior if possible, because I've also never had white interior. I really wanted white interior, and that is it. So my MSRP build would be $46,490, and then after the tax credit, which is $7,500, which of course you don't get line for line off the price of the vehicle, but you get it back when you file for your taxes. So my price would be $38,990, unless you use financing partners like Tenet, where you can defer $7,500 of the loan all the way to the end. Link down below in the description. You can check it out. Thank you to Tenet for sponsoring. But that gives you a lower monthly payment if you really, really, really want a lower monthly payment. So that's the TLDR on the Model 3. We can jump to the Model Y now, if I can figure out where I'm clicking. So jumping to the Model Y, it's a little bit more weirder and trickier, that's for sure. You got the Model Y long range at $52,990. As you can tell, the key thing here is your vehicle price, the MSRP, can, with options, paint, or whatever, cannot be above $55,000. So the Model Y long range doesn't really have too much room here. So you could just maybe do a paint color, maybe do the interior color, and that is basically it. If you go 7 seats, then, well, actually, if you have the 7 seats, you get pushed up to that $80K price point, because the 7 seat is for some reason qualified as an SUV. So if you go 7 seats, you can do whatever you want at the end of the day with all the different options. But if you stay in the 5 seats, you have to be under $55,000. So the really thing is, if you go to inductions, you can only really do a couple combinations of this. But if I were to buy it, this is what I would do. Model Y Performance is out. You cannot get it, so don't even worry about it. And I also wouldn't recommend it. I have had a Model Y Performance. I actually had a Model 3 Performance, Stealth, and a Model Y Performance, and I would not get a Performance on either of the trims ever again. I would go Model Y Long Range. I would go black interior. This is tough because now it puts us over $1,500, so I feel like I'm forced to get blue interior at this point, and then I would go with the white interior to kind of keep it under $55,000. And the blue is also really nice. I would either do that, or I would go with free white paint, save $1,000, and I would pay $2,000 to wrap the car in some crazy color or whatever, maybe like chalk gray or chalk white gray or something like that. If you haven't seen that, that's a pretty sick color. I think it was really nice. But the catch here is, and it's not posted on here for some reason, just like how the Model 3 long range is this elusive vehicle, there is a Model Y standard range. And so the Model Y standard range you can actually get. It actually does exist. So shout out to Waiting for Tesla again. Go to their website, filter it down to Model Y all-wheel drive, and this is where you can find one that's available, that you just have to figure out where you're at. You can sort it by state or location, and then figure out, and this one you get a little bit more flexible room, because the Model Y standard range, I believe, is $50,990, so $2,000 less. So, I'm not sure if that's, as much value. I would still go for the long range if possible, because it's only $2,000. But if you're really just going for like a specific build with whatever, then yeah, you could go down to $50,000, an all-wheel drive at $50,990, and then get the white interior with the tow hitch, with the inductions and all that stuff, and you still probably would be okay. So here's an option right here: silver with black interior, 20-inch induction rims, and it's $53,990. So it qualifies for the $7,500 tax credit. And that's it. I mean, let me know if I've missed anything there. That's pretty much the tax credit, which Tesla vehicles qualify for the tax credit in a nutshell. Which one would you do? Are you shopping right now? Are you buying? Are you on the hunt? Are you looking? Shout out to Waiting for Tesla again. Definitely check them out. It's an easy site to navigate and figure out which vehicles are actually out there. But there's the other pro tip is just talking to a Tesla advisor near you at a local store, going in or calling them, or getting on the chat feature. They're actually pretty helpful. I tried it myself, and they were able to find vehicles that I didn't see, or maybe I just was too lazy or something like that. But yeah, jumping into some comments and some questions. Yeah, the detonation fee increase, the destination. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, we'll jump to some more comments and questions. But before we get into that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where actually you can join and support the channel. And there's a variety of different benefits, including actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join my Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price. So definitely check out if you're interested down below in the description. But yeah, destination fee increase. They did a couple sleight of hands. Destination fee increase. What else? The paint color for silver is now $1,000. It used to be free, and that's it. The other thing I wanted to check, that it was the same yesterday, but last time they did stuff like